we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Never raise up a white flag. Didn't come this far just to turn back. The curtains fall for the last act. Breaking that levee, breaking that levee. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait to see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. We don't back down, this is what we're made of. Standing our ground, here it goes down. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Oh, wait to see, we're gonna be legendary. Ain't no time like the here and now. Yeah, we showed up, now we showing up. Oh, you and me, we're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary. Legendary. We're gonna be legendary.
It's explosive. You can't control this, no. I got metal running through my bones, a resurrection like a ghost. Hurricane, go ahead and blow. Where you could keep your white flag, I'll never fold. A shadow on the battlefield, a survivor, never yield. A thunder, go ahead and shade. Don't run from the storm when I feel the rain. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. I got a fever in my blood, a falling embers from above. I feel the heat when the pressure blows, a wildfire that you can't control. There's no rest for the wicked, no victory for the weak. And when the weeds getting thicker, you'll never see me on my knees. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. You can't control this, it's explosive. With every beat of my heart, I'll be the light in the dark. You can't control this, I'm explosive.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
"10 years of speed, 10 years of stories." For the past 10 years, we've been more than just spectators. We've been the heartbeat of local racing, growing alongside the tracks, drivers, and fans who make it all possible. From the dusty turns to the checkered flags, we've shared every triumph and every challenge, making memories that last a lifetime. As we mark this milestone, we're not just looking back, we're revving up for the future. We are expanding, bringing you even more racing, more coverage, and more ways to connect with the adrenaline-fueled world we love. Our commitment to the local racing community is unwavering, and the next chapter promises to be our most exciting yet.
Come on.
It's got to be 12 o'clock, right? So that means it's beer time.
Gather around, people. We're going to have a little sideshow about the dinosaurs here.
This is one hell of a roll cage. Come 9,000 miles to wreck each other.
Now, I don't have hobo stab insurance. Funny idea at first that somehow we're sitting here in Australia with a couple of wrecked race cars, drinking beer and laughing about it.
Like this? Are they edible? I think I f***ed up.
The playoffs for the Northwest Truck Series begin right now. Tonight, we're at the virtual Phoenix Raceway. 16 drivers will now make their quest to battle towards the championship. If you win, you advance to the next round. And the first race to do that is right here at the new Phoenix Raceway, the dogleg located in the front straightaway. After the revamp and the reconfiguration will make this be an exciting one. Welcome to coverage of the Northwest Racing Series, the playoffs on iRacing on LSRTV, simulcast radio on the Community Radio Network. I'm Wesley Outlet, as always. Welcome aboard. Jeremy Stanley is our color analyst. Charles Wooten will be, of course, handling the production as we roll in to tonight's events. Jeremy, I got Only 3 words to say. The playoffs are here. Okay, it's 4 words.
I mean, if you leave the off, you got playoffs are here, which is 3. So you're quite
Right.
accurate there. I mean, who brought me in here for color? I'm just kidding. It's gonna be a great show here. It's Phoenix. I love this track. The trucks here are phenomenal. Super wide racing across the front straightaway. Of course, you already know the dog leg, and then you can utilize that flat part in turn 1 and 2.
That's
So
right.
it's just a great way to kind of open up things. The real NASCAR circuit runs it at the very end, which people are 50-50 on it. But to open it up is quite interesting. I think it's a better suited track to be in the beginning than toward the end.
Yeah, I agree. Let's take a look at what will be the race analysis for tonight, presented by Race On, your Race On race information. Don't forget, Race On, watch live or replays with On Demand to be a subscriber. No fast repair, 100% fuel capacity, 4 sets of tires. That's the original 4 on the truck, as well as 3 on the pit lane. 3 attempts at overtime if need be. It'll be, of course, 140 laps the distance here tonight.
It's a good chunk of laps here. Tire wear is going to be a thing if they continue to run green flag laps, which, it's 50-50 here at Phoenix. You got some really clean races. You can have a lot of chaotic racing. The restart's going to be crucial to get track position here. You can utilize turn 1 and 2 a little bit on that second groove. There is a slight increase of banking. 3 and 4, they're kind of just stuck to the yellow line, trying to do what you can there. But all in all, really looking forward to tonight here. 140 laps. That's a great amount of laps here for the truck series here tonight for the Northwest.
Remember that, let's take a look also real quickly. Kaufman Creative Weather Conditions before we look into the point standings for the playoffs. There it is right there, sim time. And it's 77 degrees in the sim, air temp, 91 degrees track temp, partly cloudy conditions. But right now the sun is out here at Phoenix Raceway. And any moment now, these drivers will be entering onto the racetrack to take on the track for qualifying. So I want to emphasize on that. Now, let's take a look at the playoff picture. That's what I really wanted to look at and hit on. We'll describe it for you. Devin West, defending series champion. Jeremy. Jeremy, he will be the number 1 seed. He has a 2-point lead over 4 or 5 drivers. Correction. 5 drivers, yes. That have a tie for second, including his father, Dan West Jr., as we watch Christopher White come out to qualify. Tyler King, Sean Brightsman, Dennis Moore, and Kevin Smith. They're all tied for second. Then you've got a 4-way tie or a 3-way tie for Ryan Bloom, Ryan Gormley, and Jeff Stabnow. Then it is everyone else across the board at 2,000 points, because remember, it resets. And those drivers include, let's see here, Troy Daggett, Christopher White, one of the playoff guys on the track right now, Brian Barnes, Paul Newton, Roy Grande, Brett Johnson, and Steven Paulison. You've literally made everything even Steven for everybody in this playoff picture. And the man with the most wins is the guy that's got 2-point lead over everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, the points are so tight, and it's Phoenix. So you don't get too many short tracks throughout each and every single season. So because they're so tight, I mean, you want to have the -2 versus the -4, absolutely. Any point positive to the guys behind you is going to be a good thing. But short track, you just don't know sometimes. It's one of those deals to where we saw last year in the actual truck race here at Phoenix to close out the season. There was just chaos all over the place, and you can be taken out by somebody else's mistake very easily. But it does give you a little bit of sign of relief if you got that couple opponents' points ahead of somebody else after the hard work you done during the regular season. And it's going to be all for show here as we're going through this qualifying. Look at this 0-0. Kevin Smith running the top lane. This is his first lap, I do believe. Going to try to get some grip up there, which you might see Wesley, some people up there. There is a grip lane up in that third section. But this right here, this is just a warm-up for the second lap. You're not going to see that line during the race at all.
And by the way, to help you out throughout the night, to keep up with drivers that are in playoff contention, they are donning on the front visor of the windshield playoffs on the front, and on the back there is a, if you will, a day glow yellow or day glow green spoiler. All of the drivers of the 16 that are in the playoffs, Jeremy, are donning these, and obviously this will be the best and easiest way for not only us in the broadcast booth on production, but of course to follow it in for our audience that are watching. And of course, I'm understanding by next week, of course, or in 2 weeks, because remember we are off next Monday night. Me and Jeremy, poor guys, we thought it was tonight, but it's next Monday night. We're off for Labor Day, so when we come back in 2 weeks' time, there will be those green numbers or green colors on the names on the ticker for timing and scoring as well. I like this though, Jeremy. It's a good way to keep up with everybody.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I call a league on Sundays, and their teams are colored spoilers. So even if it's regular season, I can tell exactly who each person is just because of the color on the spoiler. So for them to do it here during the playoffs, like, I really enjoy it. Obviously, you're really enjoying it. I think every single league should have a rule mandated for broadcasted races to signify, hey, this color means this. And the green one, you don't see too many green-colored vehicles, period. So the fact that they're green really tells you, hey, this guy means something.
Stephen O'Hare tried so hard to make it into the playoffs by winning last week, and he come up short. Right now, there he is at 41, and obviously you see he's got a regular truck design on his machine. Watching to see what one of the men for Beaver State Racing can do, the Nicole Bryan photography entry. There are 2 drivers from Beaver State Racing that are in the playoffs, including Tyler King and the driver Paul Newton. Whoa! O'Hare around, coming to the line.
And look at this. This is perfect. He locked it up right before the line. He can get back on pit road with the 4 fresh virtual Goodyears. And he can re-rack them and stack them with the 15 minutes left in this qualifying session. Watch out for that wall, though. 27. If you hit that thing, your lap time is disqualified in qualifying. So here we go. Lap number 2. Let's see what he can do here. Mr. Paul Newton on the inside of 1 and 2.
The road course king, what we call him. And that Paul Newton Designs Ford, number 27 in. Right now, 13th on the clock. Currently, as it stands right now, it is Ryan Bloom, quickest man out there, followed by Dennis Moore, Dan West Jr. All playoff drivers, Jeff Stabnow, Chris White. And Paul Newton will now crack the top 10 with a 27.280. 27.280 seconds. Here comes Stephen O'Hare. He's going to get another crack at it here, Jeremy.
Yep. Like I said, he got 4 fresh Goodyears now. Now he's going to take advantage of that. At least try to here. 32.907 that last time by. So he's going to utilize the middle 1 and 2. Diamond effect. Go right down to the bottom there to get the straight launch off corner exit, which helps your straightaway speed, which kind of works here at Phoenix. And then 3 and 4, yeah, right there. That's the majority of the trucks tonight. The racing line will be right there in that first groove. Shortcuts the corner, yanks the wheel down. 27.4 for his lap time there in the 41.
Qualifying, still rolling on the clock. It's a 30-minute time limit, but I don't think it's going to last that much longer. As if there's any drivers that want to take time, they better do it now. Tidrick, Harris, Kynes, Burke, Hutchinson, all drivers that have not gone on the clock just yet, and it looks like it's going to expire, and we are about to go into race mode. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to introduce the starting lineup for the first round of the playoffs here at Phoenix. On the pole, quick man, Ryan Bloom in the 25. To his outside, Dennis Moore in the 44. Row 2, will, of course, find Dan West Jr. and Jeff Stabnow. Quick statistic, row 1, Win Racing drivers. Row 2, Team LSRTV. Row 3, Christopher Wyatt and Tyler King right there alongside. Row 4, we'll find Brett Johnson and Roy Grande. We go to the top 10, and you're going to find John Ottenbacher and Paul Newton right there, and he'll start 10th.
11th place will be Troy Daggett. 12th place will be Stephen Paulison. 13th will be James Vining. Stephen O'Hare in 14th. Row 8, you're going to find Kevin Smith in 15th. And DJ Hidrick in 16th. 17th place, Frank Harris. 18th, Chris Kimes. 19th place, Scott Hutchison. And 20th place, Dana Rogers. Carl Burke is the last entry in tonight's field. 21st place for the 53.
There's the lineup. There's the lineup right there, as the field will be ready to roll here in a matter of moments. Definitely not the biggest truck count in the past for events, because obviously we kind of narrow them out whenever the playoffs begin. But for those that are here, we thank them for being here. So Ryan Bloom and Dennis Moore. What you got? What you got?
I have a stat here for you. This is Ryan Bloom's 5th pole of this season. 5th pole.
How about that?
He has yet to win from the pole this season. Now, last season, however, Ryan Bloom started first at Legacy Phoenix, and he won last year at Legacy Phoenix. So can he break the streak and finally win from pole here tonight? That's the question.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Ryan Bloom ready to bring him to the box, ready to go here at Phoenix. The playoffs are about to begin. And yes, we have the awesome cameras that let us feel the roar. Strap in. It's time. Round 1. The road for championship begins here at Phoenix, as Ryan Bloom brings him to the line for career start number 182. We're underway. Trouble, Brett Johnson into the wall, entering the dogleg in turn 4. Quickly opening laps, and the caution will fly.
Real quick there, and smoke coming out of the back of that number 7. His night is done super early here. And we'll go on the replay side of things. Right now he's by himself in 1 and 2. So we're going to get to 3 and 4 and see where it happened exactly. Still by himself. A bunch of green spoilers out there on the front. Oh, we got tagged by the 11. Roy Grande sends him, and he saves it almost. Oh, and then Paulison just sends him to the outside wall.
He said, no Taco Bell for you, Brett Johnson. Caution out there for the 7. And there's smoke bellowing from the back end of the truck right where the pipes are, and that's not a good thing either. No fast repair in this series. He's either going to have to go on the damage clock, or he might hand grenade the engine. He's going to be out.
Yeah, the engine smoking. I mean, it could very well be repaired, but it's going to take at least 5 minutes minimum to get that thing going. So it's going to put him 5, 6, 7 laps down, maybe more. So, you know, maybe he does have time for Taco Bell after all there, Wesley.
Yeah, late night menu is open.
There you go.
I recommend the new Deluxe Lux, what is it called? Deluxe Lupe meal? Something like that? Yeah.
Sure. I go straight from soft tacos. No lettuce.
I do like soft tacos. Yes, I do, yeah. Hard tacos, soft tacos. You just get the 12-pack, don't you?
If I had the stuffing for it, man. I'm as white you can get when you go to Taco Bell. Just meat and cheese, no lettuce on a soft taco. That's all I need.
So the caution out here for the first time in this race. Still a long way to go in this race tonight. 140 laps the distance. And this is a track, honestly, Jeremy, where if it's not caution flag field, the laps could fly by fairly quickly. I mean, you can see this race go by fast if they can just get in line and, you know, knock laps out, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you're running sub 30-second lap times. So if you run that straight through, you're looking at just over 1 hour of racing time. Of course, you got some pit stops along the way and some cautions like that, especially on these restarts being so chaotic. So this could be a quick race or a long race, but pace cars down. We're going to try this one more time. These guys have been side by side this entire caution period. They're really wanting to get out there and get racing. They are amped up for playoff season, and we're going to redo it here on lap number 6.
Got to remember as well that pace car drops onto pit road entering turn 2 on the back stretch now, as that used to be the old front stretch at Phoenix. Now it's the back straightaway, and now the back stretch at Phoenix is now the front straightaway through the dog leg. I like this reconfigured racetrack. It's the only thing I really like about Phoenix, and yeah, I'm the latter, if you will, Jeremy. I prefer NASCAR to get that championship finale away from there. Just don't like it. I don't like it.
I mean, they put a bunch of money into it, so I know they got to be here to get their monies out of it. But I also like a rotating schedule for the final race, right? We're talking about all rotating the All-Star race now.
Oh, yeah.
Rotate for the final. Because Phoenix is a driver's track, right? So you got the Kevin Harvick's and those guys. Oh, we got one guy coming down pit road early. I'm not sure who that was. But, yeah, you got your guys who just know how to run Phoenix. And so they have the advantage instantly in the final.
Ryan Bloom on pit road for some reason of the 19th spot. Ryan Bloom in the 25, I meant to say, for Wind Racing. The pole driver, as a matter of fact, on pit road here, Jeremy.
This is clearly unscheduled. Not sure. I didn't see any contact anywhere from the driver of the 25. Pole sitter. Last season, remember, he won here, as I called out there at the beginning of the show. So
Right. Yeah.
That's very weird. Very strange. It looks like he's back on track, but not sure. Maybe he had to change the setting inside his graphics or something in the game, because that's definitely on schedule. But there he is. He's back on track, and he looks clean.
Ryan Bloom back on track. He's way back behind the leaders. 22 seconds losing ground. There's new,
four there for the 88. Chris Kynes utilizing some grip up there, but at the same token, running really wide there in 3 and 4 rather. I'm already getting it mixed up. 3 and 4. That's just a lot of excess tire wear, and you want to save that here. This track, even though it's a fresher surface, it's flat. So you got a decent amount of camber in these things. And you just don't want to overdo the tires early on here. Being on lap 10, stick it to the bottom if you're not going to be side by side with somebody.
You know, though, Jeremy, what really surprised me was the reconfiguration of the racetrack. And when I say by reconfiguration, all they really did was facelift the facility and put the start-finish line in the middle of the dog leg, or before they got to the dog leg, of what used to be turn, 1 and 2. The back straightaway at Phoenix is what it used to be. And I would think to myself, well, what's really going to change? It's not going to change that much, because obviously you're still making the same lap around the racetrack. Boy, was I wrong, because the way you run around this track now is nothing like the way you ran the old Phoenix Raceway.
It's no longer a single groove on the bottom. The dogleg portion kicked out several hundred feet wider than what it was originally, and just the fact that you can run way deep. Oh, we got a 88 truck there. Chris Kynes talked about him about 5 laps ago or so, but here he is off at turn 4. We'll kick it over to the replay, see what happened to Chris Kynes. Not too sure here at the moment.
Alongside Dana Rogers. 88, we're seeing it right now. He has a green spoiler. He's not in the playoffs, but he just has a green spoiler anyway. Look at this, goes around. Wow.
That almost looked like he had a lot of rear brake bias because he was in the center of the corner and that truck looked like it spun from the front. That means there's like, that truck is really loose, or if he maybe had to stab the brake for just a quick second, it almost looked like a lot of rear brake bias sent that thing around. That was just a weird, quick snap there halfway through the corner.
Got to think about something as well as, you were talking about Ryan Bloom, another driver that I'm very surprised not here, but we found out last week he wasn't going to be here. He was scheduled to not be here, Jeremy, and that's Sean Brightsman, number 4 seed in a 5-way battle for second. Only 2 points in behind the point leader of Devin West. Devin West also not here. So you got drivers that are really high seeds in the playoffs that are not present tonight, and they're going to put themselves in a big hole to dig out of if they can't capitalize after the next 2 weeks.
That's true, yeah. Brightsman not here 2 weeks in a row. Defending champion not here, which I'm sure the entire field loves to see that, right? It gives them a better opportunity to maybe snag in their first trophy here for the Northwest Racing Truck Series. So, they want to see the competition here, but when it comes to playoffs, they're like, hey, you can take a couple weeks off. It's fine.
Go ahead. We don't mind. Take off.
Yeah, no problem.
So we're just getting started here at, again, Phoenix Raceway. Another caution out over the racetrack here after 2 single truck incidents. One happening to Brett Johnson. Now this one happening, of course, to Chris Kynes. We'll try to quickly get back for a restart. Not wasting no time after cautions to go back to green, that's for sure. Jeremy, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, caution flew on lap 13. We're going to be resuming this race on lap 18. So it's going to be 5 circuits around entirely before we see the next green flag. So I guess that's the theme, 5 laps to reset everything. Pace car should be going down pit road this next time by off of turn 2, which you've already notated. It's a very weird thing where the pace car is off the track a half a lap prior. So the guys just really have to maintain their positions themselves all that time before they get to the Geico restart zone, which they're restarting in the middle of a corner. That's something very, very unique to the NASCAR circuit, restarting a race in every single time on the corner of turn 4 late in the going. If you're trying to stay out, trying to get some track position, tire spin could be an issue.
Keep on that. Keep an eye on that. Watch all that. Still a long way to go here. Watch that pace car, okay? The pace car dives onto pit road, and they're already on turn 2. So look at this mindset, if you will. Watch the pace car coming down pit road, and Jeremy, you got this long, winding back straightaway now. And you got to keep everybody in tow, side by side. This has got to be every leader's worst dream, because honestly, you can't make a slip. You cannot make a mistake. You get to the box. Look at this. It's a quarter distance away before you come back to green.
There it is. They're going down to the bottom early. At least the top few trucks, and most others actually stay above the other line. Surprisingly, get to turn 1 and 2 here. Quite a few trucks on that second groove, find that little extra grip. Corner exit here side by side for 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th. It looks like that second groove has some momentum there. You see the 44, Dennis Moore, trying to make a move, but just cannot find the power there on corner exit. He's going to have to try again here through 1 and 2.
West, stab down. Moore. Remember, by the way, Dan West Jr., multi-time champion of the Truck Series. Did it in 2020 and 2021. Stab down, winner at Daytona. And since then, Jeremy, it's been, I don't want to say it's been a bad year for Jeff Stabdown, the Billings, Montana driver, but it's definitely not been an explosive year, if you will.
The beautiful thing is, as long as you make the playoffs, you can just show up at late in the going, and then all of a sudden have a stellar back half of the year, and just do what you can on that front. But this is a great track to try to get that going. Second place right now, 3/10 over third place. Dennis Moore in the 44. Early on showing some great speed. And he's actually gaining a little bit on the 55 Dan West Jr. here as he gets to through 3 and 4 back to the straightaway. Going to lose that 10th that he earned. He gets real close. Ooh, almost contact there between 23 and the 00. Kevin Smith on the inside makes the pass happen over the 23, which is actually the 56 Christopher White. He's just in the wrong number here on his door panels tonight.
Perfectly, everybody just in line, in tow, single file. That's about the best way to get around the racetrack, except for a battle for the lead up front. Look at this now. We're watching it. Dennis Moore falling back to third. This allows Team LSRTV, Dan West Jr. getting attacked by Jeff Stabdown. Stabdown's got a big run here, working off 4.
Truck race for the lead, a little squirrely. The 44 was off of turn 4. The 24 Stab now runs below the dog leg. The other 2 run above it. But then in turn 1 and turn 2, looks like they're all familiar with where they want to run, all in line. Oh, little contact there. 00 Kevin Smith to the outside, turn 2 exit wall. 3 and 4 now, look all on the bottom lane, going to drift up right up against the outside wall. Oh, Dennis Moore getting a little more loose this time off turn 4, saves it and keeps momentum strong. 1 truck length between him and the 24.
So it's Dan West Jr. in the lead. Remember, we mentioned those drivers with the Dayglow green spoilers, or the Dayglow yellow spoiler, I guess is a nice color to say. It's kind of a lime green highlighter color, if you will. Those drivers are in the playoffs. The only driver, Chris Cods, has the same color, but he is not a playoff driver. I just want to emphasize on that. He brought out the caution earlier in the 88 machine.
Saw that sponsorship. Diet Mountain Dew running the identical color of these spoilers here tonight. So
that's right. And by the way, he's had that spoiler all year long. All year long he's had that color, so I can understand why he's not taking it off.
He's a playoff wannabe. I'm trying to think of the word for it, but he's just wishing he was part of it.
Yeah, Chris Cods with 17 starts, 15 races he ran and counted. He was 20th in the point standings. There you see this battle now for the front runners. Up in front of the low line. Here comes now Stab now on the bottom. Trying to run down Dan West Jr. and Moore in hot pursuit as they work to get their way off of 4.
Dennis did an excellent job off of turn 2 to get to the inside of the 20. Oh, Kevin Smith he is having a terrible time tonight off of turn 2. He's already pancaked and he's getting loose. Now he's sliding all 4 tires through 3. Almost hits the wall for 4 there. Kevin Smith's truck not looking strong and not looking comfortable so far out the first 28 laps here of a 140 lap event. Let's see if he can straighten it out this time off of turn 2. Lot better corner, little slight wiggle. But Mr. Kevin's got some work to do to get that thing straightened up.
I mentioned the front stretch with my apologies. What used to be the front stretch, now the back stretch. And going into the corner here. Turn 1, turn 2. There's that long straightaway now, which will send you into turn number 3. Back to the start-finish line. Quite a unique racetrack here once you get to the dog leg here at Phoenix.
Yeah, very unique, and I kind of appreciate it. You know, trying to do something a little bit different, a little out of the ordinary. Atlanta, same thing, a little out of the ordinary, making a mile and a half into a super speedway. I enjoy when they do that kind of thing. So,
oh yes,
if they can mix it up like Texas or something, or maybe Kentucky. Kentucky can just get bombed and then redeveloped into something fun right now.
Kentucky get
bombed.
bombed.
So if you're gonna get creative, Kentucky is the one to remove. That's just me.
He
though.
said, "Let Kentucky get bombed and be rebuilt." See, and I'll say this much because I was at Kentucky for that race in 2020. I thought that the last NASCAR Cup Series race that was on, by the way, a Wednesday or Thursday night, if I can remember, that Cole Custer won. I thought that was the best race I'd seen in Kentucky since the inception of the racetrack. You know, so it's kind of like how I felt about Auto Club, right? Remember Auto Club Speedway, and it just was so boring when it was first built, and then you work with it, you work with it, we work with it.
Trying to help that facility to what it should be. So if they can pick up some investors again, or someone to dump some money into that track, then that'd be cool. But I know it's turned into what? There's some housing development or some businesses going in as well. That's outside of the racetrack. So the racetrack is really dependent on those investors, and hopefully they can get it done, because that'd be kind of cool to see another short track on the schedule.
Closing in on 100 laps to go here. Right now it's 104 laps to go, to be exact. Give your top 10 real quickly. Dan West Jr. is the leader. Dennis Moore second. Jeff Stabnow third. Tyler King fourth. Kevin Smith is in the top 5. Chris White, Roy Grinding, Ottenbacher, O'Hare, Daggett, top 10. That's the way it stands. We're at the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of station identification on the radio. This is CRN's coverage of the Northwest Racing Series playoffs.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Come on.
It's got to be 12 o'clock, right? So that means it's beer time.
Gather around, people. We're going to have a little sideshow about the dinosaurs here.
This is one hell of a roll cage.
Come 9,000 miles to wreck each other.
Now, I don't have hobo stab insurance. Funny idea at first that somehow we're sitting here in Australia with a couple of wrecked race cars, drinking beer and laughing about it.
Like this.
Are they edible?
I think I f***ed up.
Playoffs roll on. Welcome back to iRacing on LSRTV and CRN's coverage. Phoenix Raceway is where we are. First round of the playoffs, and if one of those drivers, Jeremy Stanley, can win with that Dayglow green spoiler, you have punched your ticket in to round number 2, and you're going to have a nice week off for Labor Day, knowing that whatever happens the following 2 weeks, you have a safety net.
You get the luxury of doing it. You win, you're in. Oh, Kevin, careful. Squirrely all over the place here.
Whoa, dirt tracks it.
Oh, yeah, they're crazy racing right now. Kevin just still can't figure out 1 and 2 for anything. Good thing Tyler King was able to save that and not wreck. But yeah, you win, you're in. That's the beauty of it. You can just kind of relax. You don't have to focus on the next 2 weeks of racing. You literally can just go down the list and go, okay, the round of 12, I need to focus on this track. Practice it for weeks and weeks and get that advantage over everybody else.
Ryan Bloom, former Northwest champion, obviously on the Wednesday night program when it ran on Wednesday. Also a former ARCA champion. Currently has climbed his way back up to 8th. Remember, he had problems on a restart and he come down to the pit lane, and now he is up in, I mean, what a comeback here, honestly. What a comeback, Jeremy, to put himself in the top 10, and he did it all on his own, racing around the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, it is really impressive to see it, and he's got quite amount of time actually between him and the guys behind him that he's passed, just doing it straight up on speed. But at the same token, he did qualify first here last year. He qualified first here tonight. He won here last year. So I expect to see the speed from Ryan Bloom as long as it's not damage to the truck, but still the way he's able to do it. And keep a decent time between himself and the leader while passing a bunch of trucks. That's a strong performance in the 25 so far for the first 48 laps.
Dan West Jr., Dennis Moore, Jeff Stabdown, Tyler King, Kevin Smith, top 5. That's the way they stand right now. Look at them side by side. Win racing in Beaver State door to door. This is going on for 4th.
Now they're going to try it again, man. Or Kevin Smith, right? He's going to try it. Remember, we saw the contact a couple laps ago. Ooh, he's going to slap the track a little bit. Gives him the space, though. Tyler runs right up against that outside wall. This is the part right here, 1 and 2. This is sketchy for me. We know Kevin's loose. And oh, he slides him up again. Going to put him up in that 3rd groove. Corner exit, though, has been a struggle for the 00 and gets slideways once more. Oh, then he hits the wall just for good measure. He's going to go back to single file with Tyler King, but sticking the nose down to the bottom one more time.
Drivers coming down pit road, lap 50. Next time around, green flag pit stops, you think, Jeremy?
Yeah, lap 50. You guys have not seen any pit stops yet from anybody because the cautions were so early on in this event. So you take this, you go 50, you go 100, then you're done. So we're probably going to see this window open up. 41's going to break the cycle first. And then watch out for the next 5 laps. You're probably going to see a good chunk of this field come down pit road.
So the pit window has opened up. We're seeing some drivers coming to the pit lane, including O'Hare, Hutchinson, and Johnson on pit road again, obviously, where he wrecked out earlier. And now there's contact! King and Smith into the wall!
Oh, there's 2
Tyler
trucks. There was a green truck
Kevin
behind him,
Smith.
too.
Was it Audenbacher? Did he get a piece of it, Jeremy?
I think there was another truck, the green one right behind him, that also got really loose. I don't know if he hit the wall, but definitely Kevin Smith finally, after multiple tries of trying to wreck the thing off of turn 2, finally made it happen. But he's still going straight, though, surprisingly. He bounced a little bit off the turn 2 inside wall.
I'm sure Charles in our production truck can give us a replay of what just happened there between the 21 and the 55, because that has been the best thing that's happened on the racetrack so far. Here's a look at the replay whenever he sets it up. I think it already passed by now.
Yeah, we already catch him.
He's looking for it. Here it is. Here it is. Set it up for us, Jeremy. What went wrong here?
Kevin uncomfortable in 1 and 2. I mean, he's trying everything. He's tried multiple times to pass Tyler King. Just can't make it happen. He's going to try really hard here. Yeah, see, he slides up the track. He's already loose. He's still loose. He straightens it up for a second, turns the wheel, and just he turned the wheel a little too straight.
And then it was Audenbacher, by the way. If you want to show Audenbacher, Charles, the 89, he's the one that just got a little glimpse of that when all that happened. He was up on the outside, and then he went to the bottom here. And I think that was just a quick reaction, if you will, Jeremy, thinking that maybe Smith was going to shoot back up the racetrack here.
Yeah, that's what it looked like on my end. I don't see any damage to that truck. I think he's okay.
Yeah, right about now. You'll see it. Look at him, bottom.
He's getting loose.
Well, no, I think that had nothing to do with it, actually.
Yeah, he turned the wheel right. He was just getting loose.
Yeah. This is in his old world. That's on him. That's on you, boo-boo.
Yeah, that's right.
He did save it, though. That's a good thing.
So we got a caution on the track here on lap 56. We got 41. Let's see, 41 O'Hare looks like to be the target here. As we're going to take a look. Remember, he did that pit stop. The tires are still maybe a little cold, maybe not up to full air pressure. All by himself here. We're tracking him being off pace. Let's see if he was the caution now. There it is. He's getting loose.
Oh, wow.
Slides
Yep.
it. Now that's strange. He's off the racing surface by a mile, Wesley. Usually iRacing only throws the caution if they're above the yellow line there, but for some reason they chucked it for the 41 when it wasn't even in front of anybody.
Race director calls for the caution here. And everybody, and I mean everybody, Jeremy, is coming down pit road now at lap number 57. It is a flurry activity. It's a carnival with a kaleidoscope of colors all coming down for the circus of 4 tires and fuel.
There it is. O'Hare opened it up, and he shuts it down with the self-spin there off the turn 4 exit. So everyone's going to take this time to get the 4 virtual Goodyears and a full virtual tank of Sunoco fuel and get back at it. Seeing that window extend 50, 60 laps, I would imagine one more pit stop and you guys are done if you go green the rest of the way. Remember, you got the one set you start with +3 behind the wall. Most of the guys just took their first set of tires right now. They got 2 more behind the wall, so they can utilize that to their advantage if there's a little bit of if there's a caution later on in tonight's race.
So we are closing in on 82 laps to go after drivers have pitted. More green flag action coming up. This will let us step away and take a break again. This is iRacing on LSRTV and CRN simulcast coverage. The playoffs from the Northwest Racing Series at Phoenix.
Years of speed, 10 years of stories. For the past 10 years, we've been more than just spectators. We've been the heartbeat of local racing, growing alongside the tracks, drivers, and fans who make it all possible. From the dusty turns to the checkered flags, we've shared every triumph and every challenge, making memories that last a lifetime. As we mark this milestone, we're not just looking back, we're revving up for the future. We are expanding, bringing you even more racing, more coverage, and more ways to connect with the adrenaline-fueled world we love. Our commitment to the local racing community is unwavering, and the next chapter promises to be our most exciting yet.
Getting ready for the restart here at the conclusion of the third caution. Matter of fact, real quickly, as we come to green, let's acknowledge our buddy from NASCAR, Brian Morehouse, and Virginia811.com. There it is, the race summary so far. 3 cautions, 12 total caution laps of 60 total. This time out when they come to green. Only 2 lead changes. Ryan Bloom and, of course, Dan West Jr. We're back underway.
Dan West inherited the lead from Ryan Bloom and has not let it go since. As you see in first place, 55 take off, but everybody else kind of checking up through the front straightaway, getting the turn. Ooh, 25, Ryan Bloom getting low. There we go. We're going to have our 4th caution here on the back straightaway. There it is.
Oh,
it
wow.
is out. I saw the white truck spin off a turn 2, smash the infield wall there. That is
there's
72.
Yeah, it's BJ Tidrick there, Jeremy. BJ Tidrick going around. And there you see the end result of what just took place here. Wow.
Again, cold tires, low air pressures. Things happen here with the trucks, very light into the rear. And we're going to see what happens off the turn 2.
Wow. Just looks like he got tagged in the back, or unless he lost it on his own and into the safer barrier at the bottom of the racetrack on the back straightaway. Wow.
Very vulnerable part when you're going 100-mile-an-hour plus in any stock car. You get slapped from someone's rear end. In this case, the 77 looks like just come down the track a little bit, tail slaps him, and Tidrick had nowhere to go. Nothing he could do about that. Just instantly sends him to the infield wall.
So another caution as we are approaching the halfway mark of this race here at the Phoenix Raceway. Love that. Look at the wrap job on that 24. Jeff Stabnow. Oh, I love it. Got a patriotic, got the eagle, got the American flag in black and white, might I add. Really cool.
Some people, including my wife, do not like unsymmetrical things. Even though it's the American flag, she'd be like, you need the American flag equal on the front, not stripes on the right and stars on the left. I personally enjoy it a little opposite. It's even on the bed and on the roof. But the hood, though, I get it. I appreciate it, but some people are like, nah, you got to center that thing up.
I like the designs. I think they look sharp. And at the end of the day, you can tell that it's trying to be patriotic. So,
absolutely, I see it.
I'm a sea of green front visors and spoilers is what's really got me tonight for sure. Love them colors for the playoffs. So, if you advance to the next round, Jeremy, do you change your color to maybe orange or purple, something like that? You know, got it.
You know. That would be kind of unique. Yeah, it'd be kind of unique. Like, hey, if you're going to make the playoffs, you need to change your spoiler every 3 races.
Yeah. Just hear me out. It might be a good idea because here's the deal. If we started with these color spoilers and then say we go to red spoilers or then, you know, dark blue spoilers or yellow spoilers or purple or whatever, like we talked about. It would be cool because you, our audience, could keep up with the drivers that were in the playoffs that are not in it any further, and the new color spoilers can obviously quickly signify what driver is in the next round. And then after that round, we change the color spoiler again. And then you know what colors they were. And then, you know, kind of trim the fat, if you will.
I appreciate that idea. Yeah, plus you're just going to see less and less of green spoilers. But if you see orange in 3 weeks, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, guess what? That's a new color. They must be in the next round. Like, that's how I'd see it.
So 16 will become the round of 12. in 3 weeks' time, counting also being off next week for the Labor Day. Can't believe the years flew by, though. Man, it just blows me away. Back to green here at Phoenix, closing in on halfway as well. As we mentioned, round of 16 starts tonight. Drivers will then advance to the round of 12 after Phoenix, Charlotte, and Kentucky. We'll take off again, come back on the 30th. Milwaukee Mile will begin the round of 12.
Looking forward to see what they do during the playoffs. Schedules got a lot of variables. Oh, Ottenbacher a little checked up there in 1 and 2. He went up to the 4th groove. And he's able to straighten it up. But he's going to lose a spot or 2 on that exchange. But yeah, I love the diversity within the schedule for the playoffs. You need to have a short track, a super speedway, an intermediate, and everything in between to showcase who's the true champion in any series. Oh, yeah. And even a road course, in my book, is appreciated in the playoffs.
Moore inside, battles Stabnow up top. Stabnow clears around Moore. This is the battle for second spot. Working its way now into turn 4 through the dog leg here on the front stretch at Phoenix, and we're closing in on cross flags. And I think Stabnow wants to try to go after West, but he can't run down his teammate because Win Racing's Dennis Moore hot on his heels in the back straightaway there, Jeremy.
Yeah, he was looking on the last long green flag run, and right now again early on this fuel run stint, he is looking again. They're all keeping Mr. Dan West Jr. at bay within 1 to 2 truck lengths, but the 44, if he can get clear of Jeff Stabnow, I think he's going to have a decent contention to get up to that 55. But also looking at the 25, Ryan Bloom, he's in the top 5, trying to get around the 21 of Tyler King. He's been lurking. He's got there. He got to the door, nose to nose at times. He just doesn't have the exit speed like the 21 does to get clear of him.
And you got to remember, this is the playoffs. So the best of the best running for the championship. But if you're one of these 16 drivers, no doubt, or 14, pardon the pun, because obviously Sean Breitzman and Devin West, defending series champions, not here. But you want to run your best. You should think you would run your best, obviously, Jeremy. I mean, everything has got to go perfectly. As I say, the stars have to align for what it is that you got to do to meet the end of that quest.
Yeah, with a diverse schedule, you gotta be on your game no matter what. You can't risk things unless you're in a do or die situation. You just gotta run your race, run it, execute where you can. And I was kind of looking at it. Why is Ryan Bloom not in a green spoiler? I don't know if you've talked about that already, but he's kind of trying to not participate here in the playoffs.
I don't think he got the memo.
I don't think he did. He's just he's wearing a cloak out there. He's a part of the playoffs, but he doesn't look the part. But he's definitely playing the part. Still trying to get around the 21 Tyler King. Just hell of a time Tyler's giving him. Cannot get him clear, and all this is doing is eating up that tire wear for both of these trucks. But they're not losing too much ground on the race lead at the same token, so man, as soon as Ryan gets cleared, though, he's going to be quickly to the heels of the 24.
There's Bloom on the bottom, battles with the driver O'Hare. Remember what happened to O'Hare earlier in the race? Sorry, that's my apologies. Yeah. Tyler King in the 21. Those trucks look so similar as far as the lighting there for just a moment. As there goes King up the racetrack.
I mean, O'Hare was the one who spun out earlier, so
yep.
Things happen to both of those drivers, really. Man, look at it. Just Ryan getting so close to that door panel, trying to do anything to make Tyler make a mistake on his own. Tyler just not wanting to give up this 4th position. Finally, I think the 25 is going to have him clear. He takes the shortcut. Does he get? Nope. No, Tyler just once more going to try to do it, but I think he's finally going to lose the battle. It's so close here up to turn 1 and 2. Still has the spot there momentarily.
Look at Newton up high. There's the battle on the bottom. That's, of course, the 23. There's a driver that's got a nice looking race truck right there.
That's a good looking truck, I would say, too. It almost reminds me of a scheme I did a couple of years back that took the state of Tennessee and put it on the side there. Kind of fit the whole door panel very nicely. Almost has a similar vibe with that white outline there. All the way to the back.
It. Speaking of white, that's Chris White. Obviously in truck number 23. He usually was in the 56. Tonight he's in the 23. I think he's going to try to finish out the season in the truck of that color as well. Battles right there along with Stephen O'Hare and Tedrick. Look at these bonsai moves, man. And honestly, that's just the way this racetrack provides it. By the way, we're 60 laps to go next time by when they come to the line here, Jeremy.
Here you go. Okay, so a little past the halfway mark. And there's not a mistake on his part, I don't think, because he put the green spoiler on the truck with the number 23, but he left it 56 on the pylon. So I think he's just either messing with us or just forgot to switch it in the paint booth. But either way, intentionally done there. Kicking it back to the race lead. Oh, look at this. More cleared stab now. And just like that, on the back bumper of the 55 is Dennis Moore, trying to make the second lead change happen. He's getting really close to making it happen.
So top 10 as it stands right now. We approach 60 laps to go, under 60 to go. Dan West Jr., there he is. There's Dennis Moore. They are not teammates, might I add. Truck bodies kind of look the same a little bit, but they are not teammates. That's LSRTV and Win Racing. Jeff Stabnow has lost that pack, or at least those two front runners. He's back to third on the podium, about 1.1 seconds back. Then 2 seconds back is Bloom. Remember what happened to Ryan Bloom, Jeremy? The problems he had at the beginning of the race. Whatever happened to the 25, at least it was at the beginning and not the end. And in doing so, this has put Bloom right back into the top 5. He's in 4th along with Tyler King.
Reports that Christopher White is supposed to be the 23. He just has to change at the paint booth. So that's the word on that. But yeah, 25. My guess when he came down pit road on that opening restart, he just had to change a setting that required him to get out of the truck very quickly to make it happen, because there was nothing else that happened to the 25. And it was such early into the race. It's not like he didn't put fuel in the truck or anything of that nature. So whatever it is, it's clearly fixed right now. He's 2.1 back of your race leader, 4th place, all by his lonesome. He's gaining a little bit on Stabnow. Stabnow just, trying to hold off the 44 for so long that he burned up his own tires, really heated them up. So he's trying to figure that out for the long haul here. 85 laps now into this 140 lap event, 55 to go. And they still got one more pit stop though. And this is about the halfway mark where you can technically come down and close it out from here.
Look at this battle heating up here inside. Frank Harris, the legend, by the way, the 77. Let's see what he's doing, battling with Audenbacher. This is in the top 10. And look who's right back in the saddle again there with him. Kevin Smith, the wall of Washington, trying to go 3 wide, bonsai through the dog leg. Can't get the clear on him just yet, but what a good solid run for these guys here.
Kevin looking a little more sturdy in the back half of this race. He's trying to get around this Mr. 89 John Ottenbacher, and he's going to make a great effort at it here. Maybe slides in front, almost had the tail cleared over the 89. Does the shortcut, cannot do it this time. It's going to temporarily allow Harris in the 77 to get about 5 or 10 truck length advantage over this group, and there he goes. Kevin does make the pass happen. John maybe looking for the crossover. He dips the nose underneath. Nope, he backs it down before corner entry. Sole possession of that position there from 00.
This race has seen at least a handful of cautions, or close to a handful of cautions. I think it's 4 in total. Let's take a look at the race summary as we have now passed halfway. Presented by Virginia 811. There it is, 4 cautions. 16 laps, 2 lead changes. I'll just say honestly, it's your typical Phoenix race, Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a couple stop spins, kind of a wreck that happened with multiple trucks. A lot of long green flag racing at the same token, so a little bit of everything. And yeah, very, very typical Phoenix race. I would say maybe the spacing in the field's a little bit larger than what I would expect. But outside of that, I mean, you got the 3 truck battle there still with Harris, Smith, and Ottenbacher. But just the whole field. First place to 10th is a 7-second gap. So it really goes to show that the top few trucks are just in a whole different zip code compared to the rest of the field.
Closing in on 50 laps to go. Home stretch time, if you will. Jeremy Stanley, Wesley Outlet alongside with you in the booth as Charles Wooten is on production. Look at this battle now for 3rd. Ryan Bloom has ran down Stabnow. Stabnow looks like the handling's gone away on his truck. It looks like he's hoping for a caution where he can come down on pit road here and try to get more tires or make an adjustment here.
Even if there's not a caution, you might see him come down first compared to most of those others in this field. Oh, what a line. As we lose the camera feed from that. He tail slapped the wall in turn 1, trying to drive it as deep as he could on the outside with the extra grip. Now we're back to the 89 Ottenbacher here, looking at Kevin Smith and 00, getting a lot of TV time from the 00's perspective. Driving off in turn 3, just right there, waiting to make that move. See when that opportunity opens up for the 89, but just kind of hanging tight for the moment.
There you see Smith. He is back to 9th. Right there with Ottenbacher. That's that battle that we mentioned earlier that heated up along with him and O'Hare and White. He finally cleared by those trucks. By the way, clarification is that the 56 on time and scoring is Christopher White. Christopher White will be driving a 23 for the remainder of the year, so hopefully we can be able to change that on our time and scoring for races to come for the remainder of the year. So it's right there behind O'Hare. Ottenbacher in front of O'Hare, and Smith in front of Ottenbacher. Pardon the pun. You catch all that, Jeremy? Was it?
I'm kind of there. I'm following, man. Good job on that part. I love the Phoenix sunset, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, but 41 there on the front straightaway. Just had to make a mention of it. I saw the sun glare coming off the truck. Might see it here again on these
Caution.
leaders as they're. Oh, for the 5th time on lap 96.
Yellow flying
going
out.
on here lately going.
Looks like Dana Rogers with a problem, possibly. The Fanta Orange Ford has crashed, and that puts us under a yellow flag here. Dana Rogers, we're getting ready to try to find the replay for you, and it's to say that. Here's a look at what happened to put us under caution cinco here at the Valley of the Sun. Watch this.
No.
Wow.
Okay, the way he went on pit road so quick, I knew there was a tow situation. But man, that's the second truck we've seen get loose like that off of turn 4, and he just destroyed it like he's Josh Berry on a Saturday night at Daytona, man.
We're understanding that there was a lot of sticky fluid put on the racetrack from that accident. Fanta has to be cleaned up, and that's why we went under an extensive caution, not for the fact that Dana Rogers crashed, but he crashed and spilled Fanta everywhere. A little iRacing humor, people. Dana Rogers. A race off pit road. Look at this. Dan West Jr. flawless all night. Does it again. Dennis Moore, did he beat Jeff Stabnow out? We'll have to find out. Time and scoring says yes, he did. Quick break. We take you to the home stretch as we approach lap 140 to go. This is the Northwest Racing Series playoffs. iRacing, LSRTV, and CRN from Phoenix.
Drag race to the line.
We're a racing family that you can trust on and off the track. Here at Hercules Foundation Repair, we are here to help with our free in-home evaluations and personal repair plans. So if you're looking for foundation repair, go online or give us a call to schedule your free inspection.
Welcome back to Phoenix. Welcome back to Phoenix. It's going to be 40 laps to go when we come back to green. Pace car is on pit road. If you only knew what we talk about during commercial, that's all I'm going to say. And we'll get ready to go back to green. Hey, let's feel the roar. Jeremy, this time, I don't know if you knew, it's our Crank It Up here in Phoenix. We'll feel the roar and go extended as we have triple digits in the playoffs at Phoenix. We're back underway. And we're under caution again. So much for doing Feel the Roar. We just can't do it, I guess. I don't know what happened. It's John Ottenbacher that spins around. There he is. Team LSRTV number 89. Here's a replay, Jeremy, of what happened to Ottenbacher.
Yeah, they don't want you keeping it quiet, that's for sure. They want to have us talk and not have the engines cranked up. But here we go.
It's like, no,
cold tires. That's right. So, oh man, that's not the first time, not the second time we've seen it. Yeah, just mid to late corner just snaps loose with almost no sign there, and safely spun by himself to bring out the 5th caution tonight.
I don't see anybody coming to pit road unless they're coming to fix damage.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anyone to come down pit road either. They just changed everything. There's no point in coming down. They've used the 2nd set. They have one more set to go. And if there's a caution with 20 laps to go or so, you better believe everybody else is coming down to get those 4 good years on their truck for the final time. But right now it's just a little too early in this run to make that happen.
Dan West Jr., a multi-time champion already of the Northwest Racing Series trucks. He did it in 2020 and 2021. Devin West, his son, is the reigning champion. Remember, as we mentioned, Devin West, Sean Brightsman not here. What kind of a, if you will, hole does that put them in? Shovel, if you will, trying to dig out here in the next 3 weeks if they want to go to Race 4 Championship. What's going to happen here, Jeremy?
It's an in or win, or you have to win if you're those two. You get 3 races per round, and if you miss one, like you can't. I don't think you can do it on points. At least in my knowledge, you can't do it. But you just got to come in the next couple of weeks and just pull the best finish off if you can, and if not, you better be finishing top 2, top 3.
I was about to say second or third. Got to be on the podium. Yeah, got to be on the podium.
And you got to have people not finish up in the front with you so you can get that point advantage as best you can. But you basically just got to come to those next 2 weeks, and you got to just be like, I got to win this race or nothing. It's just, there's no room for failure.
Give it all you got. Be there at the end. That's what it's going to take, no doubt. Always exciting to watch these drivers here in the playoffs, no doubt.
Yeah, it cranks up a lot of things, right? Like the pressure's on a little bit more. You're going to see a little more aggression to the drivers that maybe not have shown aggression through the middle of the season. Kind of brings out a new driver for some of these personalities out here, and there's always something that goes weird or wonky, or you don't expect someone to maybe make a move that you've seen all season not make the move, and they're like, you know what, I got to do this now. And that's what makes it unique with the playoffs. People don't like the playoffs sometimes, but you know, it brings better racing down to the closing part of the season. And so this is where we start to really appreciate what the playoffs bring to us.
Under 35 to go. Lights off on the pace car. We'll get ready for a restart. 34 laps remaining when they come back to green, which is about to be right now once they get back down that back straightaway. And by the way, that whole entrance that you're seeing is pit road. Like that's all pit entrance going down into the pit area. Here we go. Back to green, perfect in the box. Wow, what a launch.
So you manage these tires this time. You had a great launch by Dan West. Gives himself a 0.4 of a second lead getting off into turn 1 and 2. Looks like Dennis Moore's going to try to clear, and he does. He's going to take second place solely over the 24. A little loose underneath Ryan Bloom here. Still loose, save it, he does. And oh, but now the Tyler King gets spun out there on the corner exit 4 as they check up, thinking that Jeff Stabnow was going to spin. Causes a check up, and multiple trucks involved in this one there, Wesley.
Another caution, and probably the biggest one of the night with a multi-kerfluffle, if you will. Here's a replay. And summer playoff drivers as well, Jeremy.
Yeah, absolutely. Mix a bunch of green spoilers here all over the track right now. And here's where the wreck happens. Tyler King, 21. He's going to check up for the 24. Oh, then Kevin Smith just comes up the track and tags him in the left rear. I'm thinking maybe Kevin, 99 comes through and
Tidrick, Harris, Paulson.
Daggett.
Yeah. Tidrick, Harris, Paulson, all caught up in there. And I'm looking, I wonder, well, I don't think we can see it again, but it looked to me like Smith kind of just gave a little bump there to the 21. I don't want to say he did it intentionally, but it was just, you're fighting for a spot. And that's what happens.
Yeah, it was just all reaction based, I believe. Like you saw Jeff, he got loose, and then the double zero just drives up the track to try to clear the 24, and maybe he wasn't looking above him. Maybe he was solely just staring into the soul of Jeff and didn't realize that he was not clear up top. We're going to get a good aerial coverage shot here. So getting loose right there. And he just, he actually reacted to the 44 slowing up. He didn't want to run to the back of him, so he goes up higher than Dennis, not realizing he wasn't clear, and it turned to 21.
$30 laps to go. Cautions breed cautions. We're seeing that here now. Let's take a look at the race summary because it's now probably more than double. Up to 6 cautions, now 7. 7 cautions, and I got to feel what Jeremy, the last 3 cautions have been in the last 10, 15 laps, if that?
Yeah, it's been very short green flag runs. That's why we're not seeing anyone coming down pit road, because you basically still have fresh tires on the things. And you said it best, cautions breed cautions. It's very cliche, but it's so very true, especially on the short track world, which that's what Phoenix is labeled as. And would not be surprised if we're not done seeing that yellow flag fly at least 2 more times before this thing's all said and done.
So another caution out. Nobody is coming to pit road, I don't think. And wait for a guy like Dan West Jr. He really wants to see his partner, Jeff Stabnow, get in front of him past that machine of Ryan Bloom. Let them try to fight it out, if you will, for the win, because Win Racing is hot on their heels there with Bloom, Moore, and Smith, mind you, in the top 5.
Seeing Ryan Bloom in 2nd place, he's now going to have fresh air on the nose of his Chevrolet Silverado. This is going to be the first restart that Dan West is going to actually have to fight for. He's going to have to get that 3 to 4 tenths of a second advantage jump like he did last time. But we know Ryan Bloom's going to be quick to that bumper. And this is going to be a good battle for the race lead once the air pressures build up a little bit. 25 and 55 are going to put on a good show here for the race win.
We're ready to try this again. Dan West Jr. and Ryan Bloom right alongside one another. It's LSRTV, Win Racing, first 2 rows. Intensity picking up. Stabnow, his flanked right behind the tailgate of his partner, friend, teammate, Dan West Jr. Inside, gives a push. West is gone. Green flag back out. Stabnow is going to stay right in line with him. Everyone else is going to try to stack it up to the top of the dog leg, and there's contact. Boy, Ryan Bloom about went spinning. And Allenbacher got the short end of the stick. He's free falling, if you will.
Oh, no. He spins.
Oh, Bloom around.
Spins. From
Ryan
bad to
Bloom
worse.
around. And
Terrible
that should have happened
restart.
Jeremy in the dog leg.
Yeah, terrible restart. Just looked like he didn't even shift. And everyone scatters all around him. And it gets bad to worse. Oh, and he tags Roy Grande. It's the 23 also makes some contact there. He goes to the bottom. and he's going to just try really hard, and he gets loose underneath Roy, and just barely Tyler King just escapes by going to the outside.
There's a look at it again. The 25, Ryan Bloom. And honestly, as I said, Jeremy, that he almost crashed with Audenbacher on the restart in the dog leg, because he about got bonsai'd by some trucks, and somehow he saved it. But I wonder if all that momentum simply caused him where he just couldn't keep going and spun going on the back straightaway.
Yeah, just got loose there. It looked like he was going to straighten up that exit, had to turn the wheel more than what he expected, and it just upset the truck during the transition on the backstretch. So just like that, the 100+ laps of work that Ryan Bloom worked to get to, which is second place, to have a chance at the lead, erased once more. And I think he should be getting his final set of Goodyear tires on that 25, and then he's gonna have to try to get to it, get back to that grind. They're gonna be restarting probably in the 15th spot, maybe 16th. So a lot of work to do with under 35 laps to go on this restart.
We're going to take a moment to step away to thank our sponsors. We're also at the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of network identification. This is the playoffs for the Northwest iRacing, LSRTV, and CRN.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Come on.
It's got to be 12 o'clock, right? So that means it's beer time.
Gather around, people. We're going to have a little sideshow about the dinosaurs here.
This is one hell of a roll cage.
Come 9,000 miles to wreck each other.
Now, I don't have hobo stab insurance. Funny idea at first that somehow we're sitting here in Australia with a couple of wrecked race cars, drinking beer and laughing about it.
Like this. Are they edible? I think I f***ed up.
Lights are off on the pace car. We're getting ready for the restart. Jeremy Stanley, Wesley Outland back here with you. Under 25 laps to go, 23 to be exact. When the field gets ready to go back for restart, there you see Ryan Bloom back in the hunt, just at the tail. Jeremy, you got Team LSRTV right alongside each other this time.
Let's see if they can get the job done here. Under 25 to go. Lap 118, restarting this thing off. Green flag in the air one more time anyways. 55 taking it deep inside cut through the dog leg. Gets a nice little 5 truck length advantage over Kevin Smith. This is the first time we've seen him in P2. But he's going to be fought by the 24 at Jeff Stab now side by side for second and third place. Turn number 3. Let's see if they can clear one another. Stab now has been the faster truck of these two, but Kevin now with the fresh air. Oh, he's going to fight on the outside almost of the dog leg. Still door to door to turn 1.
Smith inside, Stab now gives him plenty of room on the outside. Will he return the favor on the bottom for the 24? He will. And I don't want to say that it was when Smith got into that incident earlier, You know, Jeremy, it wasn't the fact that the 00 had handling issues, or maybe he did, but it's also just trying to figure out how to negotiate racing around this track. That provides such an obstacle in itself.
Yeah, you have to race the track and the drivers, which makes it a little unique. Can't miss your mark, especially into turn 3. You can easily overdrive the entrance into that one. It ruins a half a lap of time around here. And then 1 and 2 is a little more forgiving. But right now, when you get side by side, it gets pretty tight overall here. The 44, Dennis is going to run up Jeff a little bit on corner exit. Able to keep it off the wall. Bunch of trucks still side by side here. Oh, Roy Grande almost making contact there. Get clear of one another there. Cuts back to the dog leg. A lot of space given up through here. They're going to get it all real tightened up once more to turn 1. Let's see Christopher up there at the top trying to get a cut down into turn 2. Gets the great launch on corner exit. What a move there.
Decent run for these guys now. Watching it. Tendrick fighting his way right back into the top 10. Remember the problem he had earlier. 17 laps to go when they come to the line. This time by, we're at 18 remaining now. Getting down to the home stretch of this one. Don't forget, next Monday night, we're off. We're off for the playoffs in observance of Labor Day. And then they got to come back and get right back to the grind before another 2 weeks off before the round of 12 playoffs begin September 30th. That'll be on the 9th and the 16th. Charlotte, Kentucky. They ain't dropped the bomb on that virtual place just yet, Jeremy.
If it were up to me, it would be off the schedule. But you got to keep it accurate. You got to run there at least once a year, right? Like I said, you got. If you're going to be a champ, you got to be able to run good at all the tracks, even the tracks that I don't like. But I think partly why I don't like that place is just because there's 7 or 8 lanes of racing to be had, and you can only race the bottom 2, maybe 3 at most. So it's just a lot of unused asphalt. Oh, Kevin Smith drives it in behind the 44. Had to get on the brakes a little bit. Gets the thing loose. Hell of a save. This is going to kick him outside the top 3. Moves back temporarily to 4th and almost to 5th as the 41 of O'Hare. Good recovery from earlier self-spin. He's trying to get himself in the 4th place.
Got very aggressive again. Somehow saved it, though. Somehow saved it.
Internet needs to save itself apparently here. Look at this.
Look at the 23 Chris White now going high. Yeah, man. Look at this one.
Yeah, there's an extra grip lane up there, and what he's been doing is utilizing that to get the speed. He lifts mid-corner, straightens out that exit, doesn't have to turn the wheel as much, and so it can really help the handling of that truck. And he gets such a great launch on down the back straightaway that he's able to make up some time. We're going to see it here once more. About right now, he's going to cut it to the bottom. Well, actually, no, he couldn't that time. He had to check up a little bit there. But still making good time there off the corner exit.
Ryan Bloom, man on a mission to get back into the front after the 25 spun a moment ago. He is up to 8th. There he is. Behind him, Paul Newton. Up in front of him, Tyler King. Remember, Tyler King had problems earlier. Does he got enough time, though, Jeremy, with a dozen laps remaining here at Phoenix?
No chance. No, I don't think he could even make the podium. Maybe top 5, but it's kind of put himself in a hole. It looks like he's going to go 0 for 5 for starting on the pole to winning the race. He's got a lot of work to do. He's going to need a caution to stack him back up, but even that one caution, I don't know if that's going to help his chance get into the podium top 3. This little battle here, though. Roy on the outside of Ottenbach, they're able to make the pass happen there. Doing 11 up in the 11th place.
Closing in on single digits remaining in this race. It'll be 10, make it 9 to go this time by the playoffs, round 1. Dan West Jr. up in front. Wins this race on to the round of 12. And what kind of comfort is that, knowing for the team LSRTV and the reigning two-time series champion of the past, his son reigning champion Devin West, that whatever goes on next week, Charlotte, Kentucky, in 2 weeks, you got a spot in the playoffs. You're on to the next leg. You literally can miss 2 weeks if you wanted to. Jokingly, Jeremy, not saying Dan would do that, but you're in the next round for a championship.
Yeah, big amount of pressure relieved off your shoulders. You can just breathe, you can have some fun, because you don't need to perform to a certain expectation, right? So you can focus on the track that's 4 weeks from today and really just kind of have some fun the next couple of racing weekends. Of course, we're not here next Monday, but the following 2 we will be for the other 2 races in the round of 16. And it's just a joyride. So West's doing all the work now, and he can play a little bit later.
Time running out. If there's any of these drivers going to make something happen, be a spoiler on Dan West Jr., they better place their cards and do it now. DWJ up in front. He leads the way. The interval between him and Moore is almost 3/4 of a second, maybe a second back now, as it looks like Dan West Jr. is pulling up that momentum. As we see now, Grande battling with Kynes and Paulison, and this honestly, Jeremy, is the best battle on the racetrack in the back with 5 to go.
Yeah, a lot of trucks in this particular part of the track right now, really close to one another here. Side by side, 58.83 wide momentarily with the lap truck, the 77 of Frank Harris, who's currently 1 lap down in the field. They go a single file on the back straightaway to turn 3 and 4. They're going to remain that way. They're still pretty buttoned up overall, but 4 laps to go. And this is for 4th place right now. Bloom has caught Smith. Can he make the pass here for 4th? He made it to the top 5. I figured he could do that. The top 3 I said was out of the question. But Ryan just hard charger right now, trying to get back to where he was a long time ago. 135 laps ago.
Final laps remaining. There is Smith and Bloom, Win Racing drivers. That is 4th and 5th. Dan West Jr. with the laps winding down. You could easily probably write the check.
One second advantage, 1.12 laps to go. And yeah, the 55 Dan West, once he got the lead, he has not relinquished it since. Only one lead change amongst 2 drivers. And that's it. That's all it's going to take for Dan West Jr. to get it done here. He's got just over 1 lap left to go.
Dan West Jr. crosses the line. The CRN 1 to go. This week alone, including iRacing tonight, volleyball, soccer, and football for 3 nights in racing. This weekend from Friday all the way until next Monday. We are CRN.com for more information. And for the final time, here comes Dan West Jr. working off of the corner. He comes to the line, checkered flag. Dan West Jr., 2-time series champion, moves in to the round of 12 of 2024. He wins here at Phoenix. No, I need to check that. He's dominated here at Phoenix. Jeremy, that would be an understatement, wouldn't it?
Very much so. He led all but just a few laps in the very beginning of this race, and once he got it, did not let go of it. Hell of a job. Third checkered flag this season for the 55. See him come down here for his burnouts. Of course, we got the infamous high five salute going to come through here, but man, what a job. What a job from this 55. Just the restarts were key. They were. Oh, there he is. He's done. He's looking like.
Here's
John
a high
Terry
five
now.
salute. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Pile him in there.
I mean, I would just love to have a Northwest race sanction that we broadcast, where it is a rock'em sock'em robots in a circle, and the key is to annihilate your opponent, incapacitate them. No fast repairs. Crash, you flip, you're out. First, the last truck left standing, if you will, Jeremy, is the winner. I'd love to do that.
Hey,
like a virtual. Yeah.
Irwindale figure 8 with the ramps.
Oh yeah, for sure. Here's a look at the results. Says there it is. Dan West Jr. picks up his win. He moves into the next round of the round of 12. If you're keeping up with the stats tonight, Dan West Jr., career start number 295. Tonight will make his 48th career win, 159th top 5, and 225th top 10. How about those stats for DWJ? And more or less, he is moving into the round of 12. Dennis Moore second, Jeff Stabnow third, Ryan Bloom, Kevin Smith, Tyler King, both having problems with comebacks for all three drivers to rally back. Finish in the top 10 along with Stephen O'Hare, Paul Newton, Christopher White in the 23 truck, and BJ Tendrick with a decent top 10 finish also, Jeremy.
Yeah, plus 6 spots for the number 72. 11th place will be John Ottenbacher, 12th, Jorge Grande Jr. Chris Kynes finishes in 13th, plus 5 from his starting spot. Stephen Paulison finishes P14. James Vining, 15th place there. 16th will be Troy Daggett. 17th, Frank Harris. 18th, Dana Rogers. 19th place, Brett Johnson. 20th, Scott Hutchison. And Carl did not actually start this race. You got to be still registered 21st place in the 53.
So I have a situation I got to attend to. Jeremy's going to carry you the rest of the way, ladies and gentlemen, for post-race interviews. Always phenomenal job working with Jeremy. Thank you also to Charles Wooten. Everybody have a great, happy, safe Labor Day weekend. Do not go anywhere. The podium interviews are coming up next with Dan West Jr., Dennis Moore, and Jeff Stabnow. This has been coverage of the Northwest Racing Series playoffs at Phoenix, and the top 3 drivers, you'll hear from them next. Good evening from Phoenix.
And welcome to the post race here. We got your top 3 lined up. Firstly, we're going to start with the race winner. Dominant performance from the 55, Dan West Jr. Dan, once Ryan Bloom gave up the lead to you, you did not look back. How were you able to control all the restarts so well and able to keep everybody else behind you?
I think at the end of the day, as we all know, fresh air. Air on these trucks is huge, and I know that Dennis and Win Racing. Those guys had really fast trucks also, and I think, like I say, Dennis would make a run at me, but it's just all about air, man.
Yeah, with the update recently to the trucks, that became way more important than ever. And whenever the 44 and the 24 were behind you, was that kind of your idea? Like, I know you kind of run the bottom at 3 and 4. That's just the standard. At 1 and 2, a little bit of an option. But it seemed like you kind of try to follow the 44 and 24. Was that your idea, to kind of take the cleaner off their nose when they were really close to passing you?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think I was just trying to save the tires. I think Dennis and I both, and Jeff, we were all kind of up there, just pacing ourselves a little bit. We had a long race to go, and kind of, comparing ourselves a little bit, I believe, back and forth. And, I just trying to save the tires, and had really good tire wear on that first run. So was able to kind of step it up the second run. And I noticed Dennis was stepping it up a little bit more, kind of pushing me to see what I could do. But, all in all, it was just, it was kind of a chess match. I feel like, I felt like the trucks were really equal. I felt like that's the kind of racing that we're all here for, that we can all just race and not crash each other, right? I mean, it was just good racing. I think Ryan had a really good truck. I think it was an unfortunate thing on the start there. I think he just jumped the start a little bit, and then he just kind of had a rough night from there out.
Yeah, 100% there, and it played into your favor. Gave you the win. Great job, dominant performance. Your third checkered flag this season, man. But any shout-outs you'd like to give out before we let you go tonight?
I'd like to thank the team. I mean, that's kind of what it boils down to. I mean, I don't care whether you're Win Racing, LSRTV, any of the other top teams. It's all about the team. You're not doing this by yourself. So, I came into this deal and we were in practice, and I told Jeff, I said, hey, let's just, try to get a solid finish. And I didn't feel that great about the set. And Jeff's like, just calm down, just drive the truck. It's a good set. And he was right. So all the praise goes to Jeff Stabnow for sure. I mean, he's our team leader when it comes to chassis setup, and 100% got to thank him. So, the rest of the guys put the laps in and help tune on these sets too. But Jeff he's the wizard behind them. So I appreciate him very much as a cheerleader and as a setup guy. So LSRTV, Effective Web Solutions, you guys in the booth, appreciate all you do, and good job, Dennis, and good job, Jeff. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate all the shout-outs, sir, and enjoy the round of 12. You are qualified in there 4 weeks from today, man. But we're going to turn this thing over. Second place, 44, Dennis Moore. Dennis, you and Stabnow could not find a way to separate one another there. What was the difference between you and the 24 to put you in P2 tonight?
You know what? I don't even think there was much between us. The trucks were basically the same, like Dan said. The restarts were really tough, starting on the outside. It seemed like the leader would always get a little bit ahead of me on, going into 3 to the restart zone. So I didn't know if I could speed up or I had to stay at 55. It's just really tough to start. And the only way I could pass Jeff is if I stayed on the outside of him, pinch him down through 1 and 2 there and let us sail. Just so hard to pass, like Dan said. The clean air is king. I never experienced clean air. I didn't know what I could do, but it was a fun race.
Yeah, it was a great race to watch as well from our perspective. And turn 1 and turn 2, I saw quite a few drivers out there tonight go up to the third groove, like the dime in the corner, and get a straight launch off corner exit. I don't know if I saw you attempt that lane too often. Do you think maybe if you had some clean air on the nose in 1 and 2, a little bit different lane, you think it picked up a little extra speed out of that 44?
I was actually okay with the air I had through 1 and 2 because I was kind of running the middle line, staying on that first seam, and Dan would, he'd diamond it, so I get some air on it through the center of the corner. Through 3 and 4, we were like the same speed, and it seemed like when I was close to him, it'd get me loose, and I couldn't get back to the throttle. So I think that was the biggest difference, was 3 and 4. 1 and 2 was okay.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, man. Well, congratulations, second place, strong performance here tonight regardless, and shout-outs for you before we let you go.
Yeah, I want to thank the team first and foremost. Ryan, he put a ton of work into these sets. We spent some time Friday and Saturday night building the set. We thought it was really good, and it turned out great. So I want to thank Win Racing, Click an RV, Kevin. If you guys looking for an RV or travel trailer or something like that, get a hold of him up in Washington. you guys up in the booth, LSRTV, and everybody with the Northwest Racing Series.
There we go. Appreciate you, man. And now we're going to return our attention to Jeff Stab. Now, Jeff, how hard is it to work behind the scenes to get this setup ready for Phoenix?
It's incredibly hard. Ever since the update with these new front ends, right? We don't have good, history of times to base it on. So, honestly, we hope we're fast when we come into the race. We just don't know. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking. We were bouncing between two sets late last night, and we didn't decide which set we were going to run, until practice, right before the green flag there in the race. So it's tough trying to dial these in when you haven't had this front end to work with before. So we're getting better though.
Yeah, not necessarily following the truck series in real life too, like most others do. So there's literally no data to be found unless you go off of the team notes. And so whatever you did, it worked wonders. You did a fantastic job in getting the team in position to win and ultimately doing so. The race, on your perspective, though, how was it behind the wheel of the 24 here tonight?
Clean air is the king here on this one, right? Even in practice, Dan and I, whichever one had the clean air, would kind of check out from the other one over a run. So there was a big thing with clean air here tonight. I think the trucks that we had versus the Win Racing guys, I think they were pretty equal trucks. I think the difference between probably Dennis, Dan, and I is at least for me, I just was struggling in turn 4 a little bit. I'd overdrive it every once in a while. It was just enough to cost me a little bit of time to keep me from maybe hanging with those guys. But all in all, I thought we had a good truck tonight.
Absolutely. Very good truck, I would say, for sure, man. And for you, final shout-outs or thoughts before we let you go.
First of all, we got to thank LSRTV. You guys are fantastic. You do a great job. Best broadcast, for iRacing. As far as I'm concerned, I might be slightly biased, though. Second, CRN. I think it's fantastic that Wesley has us on the radio station there back in North Carolina. So, and on the internet, anybody on the internet can go to We Are CRN and listen to the radio broadcast of it. So, big shout out to both those guys and all the hard work that you guys all put in making that happen. And then, just the teammates, like Dan said. Dan gives me a lot of credit for building sets, but Dan's coaching me on my driving throughout that race too. Hey, drive it straight off the corner, he tells me on one. So he's watching me in the mirror and coaching me up. So Dan's a great teammate, and he sure makes it fun. Him and Brett and John and Devin and Sean, make it great to get out there and just put a lot of laps in. And then, big shout out to Devin and Sean. I know they couldn't make it here tonight, so they're really behind the 8 ball, but they're great drivers. They got a great chance to get in. And then, Brett too, I know he got in that mix up on the very first lap. So we got 3 teammates that kind of behind the 8 ball here with 2 races to go in this round.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And congratulations once more on the P3 here tonight. You guys have a good rest of your night. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Third. And that's going to do it here live for us tonight from Phoenix. Usually Wesley closes this thing out, but appreciate all the guys who allow LSRTV to make it happen every single Monday night here. We are off next week, Labor Day weekend, so enjoy it. And we'll resume 2 weeks from tonight, continue the round of 16. You guys all have a good rest of your night, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks.